Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat with Jesse. I am joined today by Michelle Julia, founder of Aurium. Thanks for joining me, Julia. Thanks for joining me, Michelle. See, it's been one of those weeks. 5 days at a conference will just kind of do that to you. So I guess we'll get my mistake out of the way early. Thanks for joining me, Michelle. I look forward to hearing more about you and the organization that you're starting, Aurium. So do you mind just kind of introducing yourself and your career accomplishments so far?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jesse. Hi, y'all. I'm Michelle. I'm an AI engineer by training. I went to Stanford, did a lot of AI multimodal stuff, and then went to Apple. If you've used AirPods or Find My, you've touched my code when it works. If it doesn't work, is that some other dude? But if it connects well, it's me. I'm one of the youngest patent holders at Apple. And I like to say I got into kind of sales and the outbound motion because I built a product. And as an engineer, I was so terrible at sales that I needed some help getting it off the ground when I first started my company. And that's how I kind of ended up in the sales world.
Perfect. Well, welcome to the dark side, I guess I should say. But no, I mean, just in our limited interactions, I've been very impressed by what you've been able to do in your young career, and excited to kind of dig into the new organization you're starting and the functionality of what it can do. So, do you mind just kind of giving us a high level overview? Then we'll kind of drill into more of a granular level.
Absolutely. So if we take a step back and think about where kind of AI is going, my hypothesis generally for the world is that personalization and tone and voice and the ability to capture the human is pretty important. We don't want to just all sound like AI slop. Um, and then when you take a step back and you also think about the channels that we're used to when it comes to sales. When I first started my company, we were looking at emails, cold calling, LinkedIn. There were all of these channels. And they're ever changing, right? And so putting those two ideas together, when we first started our outbound motion, we looked a lot at email. But LinkedIn really was the channel that had the highest conversion for us. And so what we've built, as email starts to wind down, as Google's changing its policies and we see click-through rates fall, what we've built is a LinkedIn empathetic tool that can understand your tone and voice and scale your outreach, particularly on LinkedIn.
And then when you were walking me through this, I mean, use like AI, whatever we're talking about today. Now, granted, what you're talking about separately, but I guess standard AI changes what every second, every day. It seems like there's something newer coming out. So when I hear people like, "Oh yeah, I figured it out," I'm like, "Figured what out?"
I think, yeah, we're a long way away from figuring it out, whatever it is. But like it's just crazy. You think about it, like ChatGPT came out just a few years ago. And I remember when I first used it, I don't know, if you remember that moment, but it's like, wow, the semantics are just brilliant. It actually can respond to me in a human-like manner. And of course now we look at it and we're like, yeah, that's AI. But a couple of years ago, we were completely floored by it. And so I just see that progression of us, needing to have more and more sophisticated and empathetic kind of models.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. That was my original kind of like. I can never be resistant to it because when I saw it, I'm like, "That's amazing." However, you know, like I tell people, I'm like, it's not going to take, in my opinion, like without that the human element and what we're going to discuss in regards to what you guys are doing is crazy because it's like, okay, now I can see this definitely replacing a body, but it's not going to make a slacker salesperson an awesome salesperson. You still have to put in some effort. It's not going to do the work for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I I shy away from the, replace humans today kind of, rhetoric. I am more about putting a human at the center of it. Like you said, like if you're a fantastic salesperson, I want to scale that. I want you to be able to reach twice as many people as you reach and like have those conversations. Um, but again, if and because the human's at the center of it, if the human is not great at sales, then we're multiplying kind of, a not great motion. So I can't help you
Or
there.
you're giving all these great leads and they're just not going.
See that sometimes, unfortunately.
Now, if
Yeah.
we can get AI to vet out the terrible salespeople, that'd be
You know,
relatively entertaining.
the funny thing is, the way that we work with clients today, We find that the way to do that is for a human, me, or someone on my team to sit down with the client and walk them through ways in which they could change. And the way we do that is by giving them sample data. So we've sent out so many LinkedIn messages at this point that we can say, hey, given your industry, like equipment financing, right? Like we expect certain metrics from, this kind of outreach or like this kind of ICP. We expect this kind of conversation. So we're able to ground the human in front of me with some metrics that we have. And it takes someone like me to tell them, to give them a nudge and say, my dude, might want to look at these other things and like, kind of adjust the way that you're talking. But it's human plus AI. It's human plus AI. I don't think it'll ever be AI alone.
So I think one of the biggest challenges that people have is kind of the fear of the unknown or fear of AI adoption. So do you want to dig into that a little bit, Michelle?
Yeah. So I think one, there is like an unfamiliarity with what AI is, right? Like it's this black box and it's kind of scary and it's gonna take our jobs. What is AI? It is an estimation and a probability of something happening, right? Like if you take it, boil it all the way down to like its core, it's math. What is the probability that Jesse is gonna smile next? What is the probability that you're gonna say, "My name is"? There you go.
I'm fighting, I'm fighting
You're
it.
finding it.
Sorry.
Um, and so it is only as intelligent. Well, it is intelligent, right? But like, we're still figuring out how to unlock it. It's probability at scale. So given a lot of data, we're able to more accurately predict something. But I feel personally that it needs to work side along the human who can help. We call it human in the loop that can help fine tune it, right? So it makes a prediction, and then you might say, that's like 70% of the way there. We got to tune this last 30%. So the human still has to come in and kind of like tell it how you want it to behave. And so all that to say, if you look at this thing, it's a prediction model. It's not that scary. It's not crazy. It's not gonna like, know every single thing about you and take over the world. It's a line of best fit, put simply, across multiple axes. Um, and so what it can really do is help you accomplish tasks when it's predictable. What it cannot do is take something it's never seen before, right? And like take over your place in the world. And so I think there needs to be a clear distinction.
Good. I'm gonna say there's gonna be
I hope
another
I hope
fireside chat with AI Jesse, and it's just gonna be a lot better. And yeah,
I mean, I doubt. I mean, you make it special. You are the reason why this is
oh,
special.
thank
Um,
you, thank you.
and I feel the same way about a lot of the workforce tasks that we're working with. It's like the human is still important, but there's like busy work. Like if AI
Sure.
could, we're talking about video editing before and all of that stuff. Like if it could take the busy work away so that you could focus on hosting these awesome podcasts, like, oh, the world would be so much better.
Thank you. And so I guess real quick. So when we were talking last time, this software, I guess, overlay is helping to build the top line of the sales funnel. So do you want to walk me through kind of what that means to a sales professional?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work a lot with folks who are concerned about filling pipeline. Like pipeline coverage is a big thing that, now that, as I was mentioning before, email is kind of winding down, or click-through rates are not as high, and then cold calling with, what Apple's come out with, you just can't get to these people as quickly or as easily as before. Where my email would be filtered out very quickly, if I send you a well-worded LinkedIn connection request, Jesse, something that really spoke to your heart, like, you might still glance at it. Maybe you don't accept it. Maybe nothing, but you still take 2 or 3 seconds to look at it and be like, huh, and move on. That's all you need. And that is the chance at talking to someone important that you might not even get on cold calling and email. So that's why I have such a big emphasis on LinkedIn, because you're able to get that microsecond of connection with the person you're trying to reach. We've reached insane people, CROs of huge companies, heads of sales at huge companies, and as long as you can speak to their pain points, we've been able to get a meeting with them. So to your question, what does that look like? We do three very simple things. The first is you tell me who you're looking for, right? You're looking up for a certain like a CRO or a CTO or CFO, right? We go and find those people for you on LinkedIn. So we give you the list. We enrich it. We have our own internal ranking algorithms. We give you the list. The second is we converse with them. And that's where the human element really comes in your tone and voice. It's gonna sound like Jesse. It's gonna be very friendly. It's gonna, have a full personality. Um, we just build a relationship with them. So what it looks like is in your LinkedIn account, it's just like chatting, just like saying like, "How's your day going?" Or "We see this problem in your industry. What do you think?" Or it can be a direct like, "Do you see this problem? Do you want to look at the solution?" It can be a very chill like, "Hey, like your post is kind of sick. Like, I want to touch base on these things." It converses to a
Mm.
point where we're able to book a call or we're able to invite them to a dinner or an event. There are different ways we can think about the outcome of a conversation, but we have the full conversation. If it's a call, we book the call to your calendar. The third thing we do, posting, thought leadership. You have something brilliant to say. Give us your thoughts. You put in quick PowerPoint, bullet points, just give us your thoughts. We'll come up with we'll make it nice and pretty in a little post format. And
Sure.
then I don't know about you, but it takes some time for me to post every day. I kind of overthink it. This just
Yes.
helps you get it out the door every other day. Consistency is key, right? And so just
Yeah.
every 2 days, you just get a post from Michelle. I look through it, of course. The user looks through it, but we just get that thought leadership out there. So people who are connected with you, like know what you do, know who you are, and that eventually converts into an inbound. So it's creating this LinkedIn garden for you, for business.
Perfect. And I guess while we're on, the topic of how often you should post, so on and so forth. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't post every day. At most, I post 3 times a week. I just see some things, and it's like I feel like it's diluted sometimes. And it's not just with posting. I think of all the messages I get on a daily basis of just it's just crap. It's like my my LinkedIn account is registered to like my EF Cares email, which is a charity, not even nothing to do with my consulting company whatsoever. It's totally different. And I love it when people are like, we would like to invest in equipment finance cares. And I'm just like, no, come on. like, like what? Or it's not even applicable, or we'd love to provide financing. And it's just, I wish there was a way to weed out that crap. And back to the Apple thing that you were just mentioning. I know you have patents with Apple, so you don't have to say anything here. Since that functionality came out, I haven't used that yet, but like I've been getting more and more crap since that came out. I'm wondering, I'm like, are they trying to get me to turn this on? You
I,
have to say like
I
no, you plead the fifth on that one. You plead the fifth on that.
if
I'm just
if Tim's listening
yeah,
to this, sorry, Tim.
no, no, no. It's me. This is all me. Michelle had nothing to do with this. It's all me. But I guess we'll go back to: is there a point where it's just like everyone's like, oh, you have to post daily and multiple times a day, and it's like, oh, like what are you guys finding there? I know it's a little bit off topic, but just more of a
Yeah, no,
curiosity
no, no, I
factor.
love it. I love it. Um, so I think there are two questions here. One is how effective is posting and like what's the data saying about posting? And the second is AI slop, right? To put it gently, AI slop that you're getting in your inbox and you're
I
like,
see those M dashes. I replied to
ah,
somebody that I met at a conference this week. Had a good meeting with them. I throw some of my emails in the chat GPT just to say, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking. Is it okay? And
mhm,
then when it rewords it, I'm like, don't ever do that again. I'm like, I don't need you to write this for me. I'm like, just what are your thoughts? And
mhm.
also just to kind of learn my personality and how I respond. And it was simple, to the point, effective. And I got a response back today, and I saw 2 M dashes, and I'm like,
Ah,
can't even edit that shit out. Part of my
yeah, that's
French. I'm
very
like,
mis-
I'm like, I'm like, you can't like, come on.
Jesse, I'm telling you, like our models are making spelling mistakes. That's how human we need to be. Grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, like
Oh, intentionally.
intentionally. Intentionally,
Oh,
because that's what humans do. We're not perfect. It's trained off of my tone and voice, and my tone is all over the place. Like you see me yapping on LinkedIn, it's like Sometimes it's stream of consciousness style, you know? Um,
Okay.
so, I mean
I didn't mean to interrupt your answers. It was more of just
oh,
it
no,
was
no,
on my
I
mind.
love
Wanted
it,
to
I love it,
finish
I
it.
love it. On the AI schlub piece, there's always gonna be even before AI existed, we were getting spam. Let's be
Oh
real.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
al we're always gonna get spammers.
yeah.
The spam is probably now a bit higher quality, I would argue, than, like, the send this to 50 women type, like, people that you know, like, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I won't get into that. But
It's okay.
I think for just, like, the future moving forward, I'm very focused on emphasizing the human. If you think about it, if we all use ChatGPT, everyone in the world follows a distribution curve. Like I said, like, AI is probability, right? Like, it's like to what do you think Jesse's gonna say I am after I? Like, it's like a prediction. So if we all use the same models, then all our voices will sound the same because
Mm,
it's the same, we're using the
mm,
same model. And that's why I
yep.
really want to get capture tone, so that we all speak differently. And so the messages that we're generating and talking to each other with are all a little bit different. Um, and then there comes the other part of like, you just gotta experiment. Sometimes I send a hey message and then I send a hi, I'm Michelle, and this is all the things I love about you and all of these things. And sometimes the hey does better. We just got to keep experimenting. If you send one or
Sure.
two messages you don't know, but I send thousands of messages, so I can tell you with certainty this percentage of message is better than the other, for this kind of ICP, right? If you're over a certain age group or you're under a certain age group, then I know that this tone works better than this tone. So it's just a matter of testing and figuring that piece out.
So what's the age group for emoji liking of messages? Because it's definitely not 44 because when I see them, it drives me nuts. I'm like, I don't want to see that. I keep telling it. I'm like, don't ever put that in the stuff. Learn that. Like,
It's all over the place, but what I will say is younger people use less emojis than older folks. When I say older, I
yeah,
mean,
I would have thought it would be different.
no, sir. We were surprised too. And also, the key to emojis, I don't know, you say you hate using them, but if you're doing a smiley face, add a little nose in there. That has,
I don't know. I thought that was inappropriate when I first saw it. Like,
nope.
just wasn't sure.
The nose, I think it's like a 3 to 4% increase in connection.
Hey, if you're watching this, add the Pinocchio thing on top. That it's like, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. And then to answer your question about posting, posting is great. So, like, the point of LinkedIn is that it's a social platform. Like, I see
Yeah.
your post and I'm like rooting for you. I'm like, yeah, Jesse, let's go. And it keeps you top of mind for me. And as we're in the world of EF now, we're like, there's just like the people who appear on my LinkedIn are the people that I think about immediately. And I think that's very powerful, especially when you have leaders in your network that you've already connected with.
Sure. Sure. I just wonder like the saturation content because it's like you can almost tell when someone's hired a posting service because it's like, oh, and here you are.
As long as the posts are good, that's all I'm saying. As long as the posts
I
are good.
know. I mean, yeah, and I mean, content's king, and more eyes on it, the better. But I guess one of the things I struggle with is going back to the human element of this. Is when I see people that are running other people's like social media accounts. Now, granted, I have a virtual assistant, but I haven't turned that over because there's something about me being a hypocrite that I struggle with. But that's just me. Um, I don't know how you overcome that at all because it's someone's personal brand, but I guess what you're doing is digging into that brand and basically almost mimicking or mirroring it 100%. So it's not like it's a fake tone.
Exactly. We spend a lot of time with our clients to understand how you see yourself and your tone of voice. So there is an inherent trust that comes with working with our team. And
Sure.
very frankly, we're a team of engineers. Like, our entire goal is to look at your tone and voice and to be able to capture that mathematically.
So is the time investment to understand someone's full personality based on the person's personality? I'm just wondering if you look at someone like me and be like, dude, this is gonna be too big of an investment to even try to
Thanks.
understand what you next time. Yeah, it's great. See you later. We tried. We tried.
I mean, I would say LinkedIn is a nice sandbox, right? It's like your personality on LinkedIn is probably a portion of your personality in real life. If I met you in real life, I'd probably be like, "Whoa, like, Jesse, you're so different from the screen version of you." And so we have a nice
I
little
wouldn't say I'm
sandbox.
thinner, but I think I'm probably the same. Is what it is.
Good one.
Sorry.
That's a good one.
Sorry.
Um,
I'm sorry.
no, I lost my train of thought here. Okay, yes, yes, yes. LinkedIn is a sandbox. So that's why we're not saying we're gonna take over everything. Ooh. Um, we're not taking over like email and LinkedIn and like all of these different channels. We're just handling LinkedIn.
Got it. And then I guess what is the ROI that you've been seeing with I guess I guess we can just call them early adopters. Like what's been that return?
Yes. So we have one big goal. Any client that we take on, it is that your sales motion improves. That we can say, hey, if you're doing something on LinkedIn, this is what works, this is what's not working, and let's improve on that. So like I talk about A/B testing a lot. I talk about if you send 1,000 messages and you get like a couple of book calls, why are they booking? I'm not gonna make you scroll through all your LinkedIn messages and be like, oh, what was the conversation? Like, you're just not gonna do that, right? And so our goal is to really, if your connection rates are 8%, 10%, we want to get them to like the early teens, maybe 20% the more you work with us. Because at each step, we're learning from the conversation and bringing this forward. Um, so that's one aspect of it. So we're seeing off the bat, like I can talk about my own stats and not reveal anyone else's. From cold outbound to booked calls, because I've been working on this for a long time, my rates are around 30 to 35%, right? I already know what message hits, who exactly my ICP is. Like, we're booking my sales team 8 to 9 hours of calls back to back every single day using this tool. That being said, I've been working on this for a long time. Yeah, it better work for me.
Sure.
So the average client that comes to us, it really depends on, your market, your contract size. So we have a client where like we booked him 2 or 3 calls in 6 months, but one call was a couple $1 million. So he was like, this is insane.
Yeah, paid for
So
itself for years, right? At that point.
exactly. Exactly. So it really depends on kind of your space. The last thing I'll say is with something like what we've built, we're able to scale your best rep. So the what I hear a lot is like, oh, it takes like 6 to 9 months to onboard someone and get them trained up, and like, SDRs, they churn because you train them up and then they go through their Rolodex and then they quit. Or like, they just don't hit their marks and then they quit. And what I've done really is I hire fresh grads. First of all, I believe in the youth. Second of all, I can give them our tool and it already has my playbooks that it's learned from me or your best rep, and they're booking calls within 24 hours. The ramp up time is basically nothing, because we already have the strategy on the back end and the AI is just kind of going through it. And then more
Sure.
importantly, we have like compounding information. We have a SDR that actually has like years of training because it's me, my reps, and all our learnings into one. And he won't quit because he's AI, right? He's not gonna just up and leave tomorrow and then I lose all that information. So those are the two things.
Great. So, a lot of sales organizations, like people at the top, know that they know what they're doing. They know the quality of life they want to have and the hours it's going to take to hit that, right? Are you saying that this could potentially extend, they only wanted to work half time? They might be able to extend. I'm just trying to, because I see that a lot where I talk to people and I'm like, all right, who's your number one salesperson and what do they do and what do they make? And a lot of people are like, well, if he would only do a little bit more, I can only imagine much more what they would make. And I'm kind of like, or maybe he's capped out and that's based on something. So I'm just
No,
situational, Michelle, more of a
exactly.
curiosity.
I mean, take me, right? So I was spending, why I built this, I was spending 4 to 6 hours a day on LinkedIn replying to people. You know, people fall off, they stop replying, and then I gotta bump them, and then they schedule a call, and then they reschedule, and I gotta reschedule them, and then I have to go through all my messages and make sure I'm sending out 20 a day. Like, it was a lot of time.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
and all of that today is taken care of for me, and that is time back for me. Now I just code. So, you know, it's a I think it's a huge time saving.
I guess, what do you prefer? Do you like to be talking one-on-one with this, or do you like coding better?
You're talking to an engineer.
I
But
know, but in my limited interactions with you, you're very comfortable in this setting. So it's like
I'll
both
tell you
fronts you can.
a secret. I'll tell you a secret. I actually had a little meeting recorder bot. In our previous calls, you've seen it. A little meeting recorder bot that I built for myself.
Yeah.
And first, I would say give it 10 or 20 meetings, it would say, "Michelle, you're not smiling enough. Michelle, you're pausing for too long. Think faster." Like, it was my own little sales coach that was telling me, how to improve. So it's taken time, I think,
Okay.
but I still hop into the sales calls. At the end of the day, it books me the calls, I still have to hop in. So there is that element of training there.
You ever sit there and say that was not a good lead? Don't do that type of person again. Thank you.
Yes, there's a feedback form that comes after, and I'm like,
That's fantastic. Like,
"Nope."
no, like, what were you thinking? Like, no. Okay, sorry.
No, it's a good question. Qualification is something that we're, like, really honing in on
Mm.
right now.
All right. I mean, if time's limited, I mean, if you have a tool that's giving you amazing leads, but they're not the right ones, right?
Exactly. It's
Counterintuitive.
funny because, when the clients come to us, they're like, "We need more leads, we need more pipeline coverage." And then they get the pipeline coverage, and they're like, we need qualification now," because we, like, are booking all these calls. So it's like, we're becoming more and more sophisticated as a mechanism and as a system.
So I guess from a, obviously you don't have to go into the monetary investment perspective, but from a time, um, from a time investment perspective, like, do you have a minimum where it's like, hey, our program's not going to be successful unless you give us 6 months because we have to work with your team. We have to see how they interact with it. I was just wondering if there's a specific time frame or sweet spot of what you're seeing before it kind of clicks.
Yeah. So on average, assuming that you got your ICP and your messaging almost there, on average, we see around a 2 week to 3 week ramp up period. The
And how
first
long does
week,
it take to get the ICP and the message? Like,
that
because
is
I'm sorry, because I walk into 20-year-old companies and they don't even have SOPs, and it's like, wait, what? How are you doing things? Oh, we just do it. And I'm like, but it's not documented.
so if a company has a CRM, we can plug into the CRM and draw our own
Oh,
conclusions. So we can read and write to a CRM, and that's how we
okay.
work with a lot of our a lot of our clients. Um, it's a matter of testing. Like, our platform does the three things that I said. And as long as we can prove that we find you people you want to talk to, we can have the conversation when they respond, right? And we can capture their attention with posts. The rest of it is experimentation. Like you said, we have 20-year-old companies that come to us and we're still experimenting with them. So if you give me, if you say, I'm looking for CFOs and I'm selling hot dogs and I'm telling them, hey, I can walk your dog, like, that's not gonna go anywhere, right? So, like, no matter how much we're gonna have to experiment quite a bit to get you somewhere. But if you hit it on the head, I can book you a call tomorrow. It's just a matter of that person seeing your message. If you boil it down to it, it's just doing what you do today on LinkedIn at scale. So if you don't have a good LinkedIn strategy today, we'll help you get there, but it might take some time. If you already have a good LinkedIn strategy, tomorrow, day after, let's just go. Like when I onboard my SDR, we just hit the ground running.
Fantastic. Sorry for all the additional, just more curiosity factor, because that's what people ask all the time. Like, hey, what are you hearing in the? I mean, I've probably heard it like 30 times. What's going on with AI? What are people doing? How are you doing it?
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I think I said on our first call, where it's like, how do you see it? And I'm like, more repeatable processes. But this is more of a, like you said, it's a empathetic approach where it's almost like more like human learning, and I'm kind of like, now that's interesting. Not to say that the repeatable factors like customer service collections, like I still see that being a big need because when people
Mm.
call in, what are they going to have? 3 to 5 questions. Yeah, here, talk to bot B. It'll take care of you. Just um, make sure if it picks up an angry tone, it goes right to somebody. I've noticed that when I've been on like hold, you just scream at it a little bit, and suddenly you just get a higher priority. I'm like,
I should
triggered to
try
a
that
human.
next time. I would try that next
It's triggered to a human. I'm like,
uh, yeah, I feel like a lot of people have a mandate for AI, but they don't really understand what AI is, so then you can't implement it properly, right?
right. You
Um,
say, oh no, we just as, and then some of these like IT or CTOs are like, well, they're telling me I need it, and they're just like, go and find something, and it's like, really, like it's a
yeah,
mandate just to do, or are we actually going to do something long term?
that's how I feel about it too. So we wanted to build something useful. Like I use it for myself. That's how I know that it's useful. It's my entire company's go to market.
Fantastic. And how many people do you have at the organization?
So right now, oof, we've like 3x in employees and 5x in revenue in the past 5 weeks, I think since the last time we spoke. So we're growing very, very, very quickly, but we're venture backed, right? That is the speed at which venture takes you. Um, I'll have more details on that when we're no longer in stealth
Fair enough. All right, I'm really curious. And you're located in California?
in San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, you got to move fast out there, otherwise you're gonna be left in the dust, right?
Yes, sir. Well, the great thing is I come from the world of research. Going to Stanford and working with professors with who's they're literally on the bleeding edge of what's possible. So it's like you have an eye on that and you can productize. The average company or like product takes about like 6 to 8 months to productize bleeding edge research, but because we're so small, we're like, all right, let's go. Let's move fast. Um, like open the technology for ChatGPT came out in 2017. We didn't get it till 2020. What was Google doing? Sorry, Google, you're great. But it's like it takes a while to productize good research, and the ability to move fast is key.
Fantastic. Note to
Yeah,
self: do not upset Michelle. She can find out anything at any time. Don't do it.
I'm just an engineer. That's what I like to say,
Yeah, yeah, that's engineer with a personality.
Learning about learning about your world and how a solution like ours can translate, across industries, across professionals. Um, LinkedIn is the one big unifying force. Brings us all
Oh,
together.
absolutely. I'm just wondering, are you finding more adoptions based on certain verticals? Um, or have you stumbled across a particular vertical where you're just like, you know what, accountants, they just are boring. Sorry, accounting people that are watching this, they have no, you know what I mean? Like, are you finding something where it's just like, you know what, it's harder to learn the
Mm,
vernacular of
mm.
certain segments?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
It's a very honest answer, right? If you give us enough information, we can capture most like any segment. I think it's more a matter of is your persona on LinkedIn? In the finance world, everyone's kind of like a C-suite person is definitely going to be on LinkedIn, or like an owner, a president, they're probably going to be on LinkedIn. If we had a couple of clients who were reaching out to um independent hairdressers or even that did pretty well actually. There's just some personas that are out
Sure,
there
sure,
that
sure,
are probably are not going to be on LinkedIn, and so that's the bigger thing.
sure.
But in terms of capturing tone, I mean, what we do, we scrape your website, we get all the information that you're giving out to the world. We can ingest that. We can look at your competitor's website. We can look at their logos. We do a bit of background research. What a human would do. Um,
Sure.
After information.
So, I ask everyone who comes on this program to give me a little fun fact about themselves. So what do you like to do outside of coding and work.
Jesse.
I have to ask. I have to keep this consistent.
I work 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. every single day. I'm in this phone booth more than 12 hours a day. So this is a tough one. I think my favorite thing to do outside of work is call my grandma.
Oh,
Um, I
okay.
yeah, I have an alarm. I have an alarm at 10 p.m. She's in Singapore, 10 p.m. every day. I have an alarm. I call her. Um, she's, family's important to me, and so I make sure I have that at least for, 15 minutes every day. Just give her a ring.
Awesome. That's fantastic. When was the last time you got to see her?
It's been a while. Hopefully after we launch and things have taken off, I can go home and at least for Christmas, I'm hoping to go home.
Good. Sorry, I didn't mean to take the conversation
No,
there.
you're
I
good.
just, you know,
Let's end on a good note. I love my family. They're the absolute best.
I haven't been to Singapore yet. Always want to check it out.
Come with me. I'll take you to see my grandma.
All right, done. Like, who's this guy? And then my last question I have for you, Michelle, is in equipment finance, this industry that I'm in, why should an organization look into leveraging your platform?
Because your ICP is on LinkedIn, and if you're not leveraging a channel as bountiful as LinkedIn, you're leaving money on the table. It's as simple as that. If your reps are not working LinkedIn hard enough, if your pipeline is not full from LinkedIn, you're leaving money on the table. That's it.
Fair enough. I really appreciate your time, Michelle. It's great having you on the program. I'm glad that Craig connected us. I look forward to staying in touch with you. I mean, if it's 3x to 5x in about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, curious to see how that goes. Because I know I'm not that nice of a good luck charm. So it's obviously all the work you're doing.
It's gonna be great. No, I mean, talking to y'all has been very insightful, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. So thank you, and we'll look back on this interview in a few years and be like, "Whoa, they were that small back then, and now they're crazy."
Check
That's
it out.
want to be.
Awesome. Well, look forward to talking with you soon, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.